Hi, my name is Joseph Parker, WBO champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so the curious case of Deontay Wilder. What's next for him? Will he retire? Won't he retire? And whatever else. Now, I've been holding off doing a video on him, giving my opinion, because I've been waiting to see if Wilder's going to put out some kind of statement about whether or not he's going to retire, whether he's going to continue, is he going to accept the offer from Lawrence Okolie to fight for the WBC Bridgerweight world title, and whatever else. But obviously a lot of people have already had their say, and I can agree with a lot of people's statements on Wilder, and I can disagree with some of them as well. And those of you who's been with me for quite some time, you know my thoughts on Wilder, and I've said it since day one. He's overrated. He's always been overrated. People can talk about his performance or performances against Zhilei Zhang and Joseph Parker. Oh, he doesn't look the same fighter. Yes, he does. He looks exactly the same. He loses every single round, every single time he fights, or most of the time that he fights. Looking on the back foot, scared to get hit, looking for that one punch. That's what he does. So people can say that he's got old, he's deteriorated, he's not the same. He is the same. What's different is the level of opposition. That's what's different. That's why he's taking losses. Had he have fought a Parker or a Zhang or some of these top-rated opponents years ago, he'd have lost years ago. He would have done. Now, people will look at his record and go, oh, well, out of his, 43 wins and 43 wins and 42 knockouts. That's impressive. That's the biggest puncher in the heavyweight division history and all that kind of crap. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because look who he's knocked out. It's not my opinion. Look at it. Look who he's knocked out. He ain't beaten anybody. People say, well, he beat Luis Ortiz twice, knocked him out twice. Okay, well, who's Luis Ortiz beat? He had a fake reputation of being a boogeyman. It was fake. It was always fake. And I told you that years ago with Luis Ortiz, even when Luis Ortiz was undefeated at the time. Luis Ortiz's best two wins are, Bryant Jennings and Dave Allen? So how's that a good win? How exactly? Luis Ortiz, who turned down opportunities to fight Joshua and some other big names than that before. But then the old PBC narratives try to spin things around, much like with Wilder. Wilder had always ducked Anthony Joshua, and I'm sure he lives to regret that now. But the fact remains that the people who he fought were garbage, even as champion. Even as champion. He fought Eric Molina. He fought Johan Duapa, Artur Spilka, Chris Arreola, Gerald Washington, Dominic Brazil, and do you see what I'm getting at? Where most of them have been knocked out before, or at least lost before, with the exception of Luis Ortiz, because I said with Luis Ortiz, he never stepped up. But even before his world title shot, his biggest win was Audley Harrison. Sergey Lajkovic, potentially, he was a former WBO world heavyweight champion, and he put him on the moon. He did. And by the way, I'm not saying that Wilder can't punch. Of course he can punch. You know, he is knocking out some grown men. So, of course, he can definitely punch. But, again, when you look at Wilder, he's always been chinny. Always. He got put out by Harold Skoniez in his, 13th professional fight? He was out. The bell saved him. The referee saved him. Mysteriously, the footage has disappeared now. Does Golden Boy still have it? Have they sold it over to PBC? I don't know. But if you get a chance to watch it, watch it. A big sumo wrestler guy, Dustin Nichols, put Wilder on his backside. The ropes saved Wilder. The bottom rope saved him. Which is still a knockdown, right? He got put on Bambi legs by Eric Molina. He got beat from pillar to post by Artur Spilka. It goes on and on and on. And I know people want to come out of it like they compare him to some of the greatest punchers of all time, like George Foreman and all these big punching heavyweight. He's not even in the conversation. Vladimir Klitschko's knocked out more people than Wilder's fought. But people are not talking about Vladimir Klitschko as the biggest puncher of all time. And Vladimir Klitschko was beating people who were highly rated, unlike Wilder was. And to go back onto the point, Wilder, he stepped up and he lost. He stepped up against Fury. Originally, it was a cherry pick. It went wrong. Okay, he got a gifted draw in the first fight and then got battered in both fights after then. You can say, yeah, but he knocked down Tyson Fury. Okay. So did quite a few other people. So did a few people. Right? More recently, Alexander Usyk technically knocked him down. Had him out. Steve Cunningham dropped him. Nevin Pajic dropped him. John McDermott beat him. So, again, okay. Is Wilder the greatest puncher of all time? No. Should he even be in the conversation of it? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And those who say that he should, you don't know boxing. You just don't. Now, people talk about how, well, who was it that he could have fought that he didn't fight? Well, Povetkin, there's one. And again, I know people point out the PD thing. Okay. The supplement that Alexander Povetkin failed on, minuscule or not, is kind of irrelevant, had only just been added to the ban list. So he was still within that period. And he won the case against Wilder for, what was it, a couple of million or whatever it was? I.e., Wilder should have fought him. The fight should have still went ahead. People want to talk about, well, Povetkin, he got a ban over it. Yeah, because of the Bermane-Stiverne fight. It wasn't the Wilder one. Wilder even tried to fight Andrei Wojcik, if you remember, as a title defence. That guy. But, again, he could have fought Derek Chisora. He didn't. He could have fought David Haye. He didn't. He could have fought Vladimir Klitschko. He didn't. He could have fought Vitaly Klitschko. He didn't. He could have fought Tyson Fury earlier. He didn't. He could have fought many fighters. Many fighters. Kubrat Pulev. Chagayev. There were plenty of fights that he could have fought, but he didn't. Now, should he retire? Now, as I said with the heavyweight division, you're only ever one win away from being a talking point again, from being relevant again. You are. And there are fighters out there that he could fight like Emmanuel Charr and knock him out easily and comfortably and become WBA regular world heavyweight champion, thus being in line currently for Alexander Usyk. Because if any WBA rated fighter, and it won't be Mark McCauley ranked at #1, it will be the regular champion, Emmanuel Charr. Horrible, right? But that's the kind of thing that Wilder should be looking at. He should be looking at Ajit Cabiel. He's a big talking point right now. Ajit Cabiel, okay, it's a risky fight for Wilder, but he's there to be hit. If Wilder can just let that right hand go, there's a very real chance Ajit Cabiel will go down and not get back up again. This is what Wilder should be looking at, if he's going to continue. Now, should he continue? Well, that's entirely on him. As I said before, people say, oh, he's reached the end of his road now, he's not the same fighter, and he's getting on a bit now. Well, Zhilei Zhang's, 3 or 4 years older than him, isn't he? So, what's the difference? Oh, he's got miles on the clock now. Those defeats with Tyson Fury has affected him and he's lost his killer instinct. No, he ain't. No, he hasn't. As I said before, the difference is the level of opposition that he's fighting. That's the difference. Anyone can look a killer and look real good against the level of opposition that he has been fighting previously. But when you step up, it's different. I said to you guys years ago, put him in there with Parker when both of them were champion for unification. Parker beats him. He beats him then, he beats him now, and he'll beat him in the future. Stylistically, Wilder can't beat Parker. And quite a few fighters out there, he could never beat a Tyson Fury. He'll certainly never beat Alexander Usyk. He'll never beat an Anthony Joshua. There's plenty of fighters he wouldn't beat. There's some fighters out there that he could potentially, like a Joe Joyce, he could potentially beat him. But likewise, he could also get cleaned out by Joe Joyce. Dan Dubois, again, he could get cleaned out by Dan Dubois. But fighters who do get hit, these are the kind of fighters that Wilder should be looking at going forward. But if he wants to get back into the mix and become a talking point again, I'll certainly look at Emmanuel Charr or at Ajit Cabiel. I say, should he retire? I don't know. I really don't know. That's entirely on him. I'm not here to talk about his personal life with his missus or ex-missus now and all that kind of situation with his brother, and ain't none of my business, okay? I don't know what his financial situations are like. I don't know if it's true about his abuse claims of his relationship with his now ex. I don't know any of that, okay? It's not my business. But if he's financially okay, well, why take any more punishment? But the fact remains, in his last 5 fights, he's lost 4. 3 of those by knockout. Does he want to go out that way? But if he's going to continue, he needs to get shot of Malik Scott. Again, I said this in the beginning. Malik Scott is the wrong person to be there. This is a guy who not only did Wilder beat, officially, but took a dive against Deontay Wilder, right? Let's have it right. Did he or did he not? Watch the footage back. And you want that guy training you? He's a proper trainer. Should never have got rid of Mark Breland. Should never have done that. But anyway, I suppose people live and learn. Much like he should never have turned down that 100 million with Anthony Joshua. Again, live and learn, right? But do I want him to retire? No. As I said, there are some fights out there I'd like to see him. Will he take up Lawrence Coley on that offer of the WBC Bridgeweight title? Why not? Because if he quits right now, I think this is how people are going to remember him. Fighting a whole lot of stiffs, and when he stepped up, he got found wanting. That will be his legacy. Will he get into the Hall of Fame? Probably, but he shouldn't. But a lot of people shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. But they are. Anyway, my thoughts. Drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.